Ever wondered why crowd of people might just stand there while someone needs help? You're not alone. Buckle up as we dive into the fascinating world of bystander effect. Okay, folks, let's take a trip back in time, back in 1964. Picture this: New York, and we have a woman named Kitty Genovese. Now, Kitty wasn't a superhero or a renowned scientist. She was an ordinary woman whose unfortunate fate led to groundbreaking psychological revelation. Late one night, Kitty was attacked, and here comes the shocker. There were around 38 witnesses. Yes, 38. But did they rush out to help her? Dial the cops? Nah, they just stayed put, watching from their apartment windows. A classic case of none of my business syndrome, you might think. But there's more to it. Which brings us to the central question: why didn't anyone intervene? This strange phenomenon got the wheels turning in the heads of two psychologists, Latané and Darley, who coined the term bystander effect. Now, before you jump the gun and start thinking of these folks as heartless or apathetic, let me stop you right there. It's not that simple, and it's certainly not one size fits all explanation. Often, people assume that the bystander effect is about difference or apathy. It's easy to label, right? But guess what? It's not about not caring. No, sire. It's about social and psychological dynamics that occur when we're in a group. It's about the diffusion of the responsibility, the ambiguity of the situation, and believe it or not, our natural instinct to confirm. But how do these elements come together to create this freeze while someone else is in crisis effect? It's like a puzzle, and each piece adds another layer to our understanding. Now, as we dive deeper into rabbit hole of the bystander effect, we're going to explore what really stops us from acting. Let's unmask the factors that contribute to the phenomenon, and trust me, it's going to be thrilling ride. Buckle up, my friends, because next up we're going to dissect the factor contributing to the bystander effect. So now that we've peeked behind the curtain of the bystander effect, let's unravel threads that knits this phenomenon together. It's not a simple puzzle. It's more like a Rubik's cube. So, what's the first piece of this enigma? Ladies and gentlemen, meet the infamous diffusion of responsibility. Now, diffusion of responsibility isn't some fancy scientific process. It's more like a strange social magic trick. Imagine you're in a crowd and something goes wrong. You think someone else will step up. After all, there are so many of us here. But the irony is, everyone else is thinking the exact same thing. It's like a game of pass the parcel where no one wants to be stuck holding the responsibility when the music stops. Moving to our next riddle with the enigma: social influence conformity. It's human nature to look around, see what others are doing, and follow suit. We're pack animals after all. If everyone else seems calm or unbothered, we assume everything is hunky dory. You know, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. But what if the Romans are misreading the situation? That's when things go south. Which brings us to the third and one of the most intriguing pieces of the puzzle: pluralistic ignorance. Now, that sounds like a mouthful, but it's just a fancy way of saying that we're all collectively misunderstanding the situation. We look around, see no one reacting, and assume it's not a big deal. Oh, no one else panicking. Well, then it can't be that bad, right? Wrong. It's like being a silent movie where everyone misreading the subtitles. But wait, there's more to this story. Our journey to the heart of the bystander effect is far from over. Now that we've dissected the factors contributing to the social phenomenon, let's dive into the psychology of inaction. Next up, we're exploring the fear of judgment, or as the psychologists like to call it, evaluation apprehension. So don't go anywhere and stay tuned.